Hello, and welcome to Orient Display Tutorials. In this video, we will talk about artistic variables and how to add it to your project. First, you will need to make an icon file. To do this, put all of your icons in a folder and rename the icons to the integer values that you want them to correspond to. For example, the icon for 0 would be named 0.bmp. We have already done this and have named our folder 48. After you have done that, open the Orient Display Icon program and click Select Picture File Path. Select the folder all of your icons are in and click OK. Then click Create a new ICO file. A new window should appear. Here, click Generate and save your file in the ODGUI subfolder of your project folder. Name it whatever you want, click Save, and click OK. After that, open your project in the Orient Display program. When you've opened your project, click on the background file you want to add the artistic variables to. Then, click on the Artistic Variables button in the top menu and click and drag to create a zone where the artistic variable should appear. On a side note, do not click on the Icon Variables button as they are two separate functions and are easily confused. After you draw the box, a menu should appear on the right-hand side. In this menu, locate the VP field and type the memory address that you want to store your variable at into the box. In our case, it is 0010. Then set the icon file to whichever file name you generated earlier. Next, press the plus button next to the Start Icon section and set the Start icon to 0. Then click OK. After that, make sure the display mode is set to transparency and configure your variable settings. In our case, the variable type is int, 2 bytes, and the alignment is left. The integer digits field is set to 2, and the decimal digits field is set to 0. Now we want to create buttons to manipulate this variable. To do so, we will make two buttons, one to increase the variable and one to decrease it. First, we will create the increase button. To do this, click the Increment Adjustment button on the top menu and click and drag over the Increase button area to add functionality. When you do this, a side menu should open. Locate the VP field and set it to the same address you set earlier, in this case 0010. Select int in the menu below, set the adjust method to ++, and set the over operation field to cycle. Next, set the adjust step length to 1, the lower limit to 0, the upper limit to 9, and the touch effect field to constant setting. Now that we have made our plus button, let's make our minus button. To do this, select the existing button and then copy and paste it, and drag it over to where you want your decrease button to be. Then click the copied button and change the adjust method to -. Then generate, export, and save. If you have done this correctly, it should look a little something like this. Now that we have our program, this is what it should look like loaded onto our LCD. As you can see, if we press the plus button, the variable value goes up. And if we press the minus button, it goes down. And with that, we're done.